Hi students, good morning everyone. So in the last class we have started unit 2 in that the first topic was C chart. So construction of C chart we have seen along with the problem also. So always whenever you have number of defects, so remember number of defects indicates the C chart whereas number of defectives indicates the P chart. So for the number of defects, we have seen the construction procedure and the control limits for the C chart. So coming to the next chart in this second unit is U chart. So next topic is U chart. So what is this U chart? U chart, it is also a C chart itself. So whenever in P chart we have seen P chart varying sample size. Here C chart also we will be having varying sample size case. So the C chart with varying sample size case is called as U chart. So this U chart is nothing but C chart with varying sample size. C chart with varying sample size. So either they have mentioned the C chart with varying sample size or U chart, it is same. So don't get confused between the names. So only C chart indicates the number of defects with a fixed sample size. So if there are number of defects with the different sample sizes, then we will be using the U chart. So in C chart we used to plot the CI values, that is the number of defects. So in U chart, instead of C values, we will plot U values. We will be plotting all the UI values. So what are UIs? UI, where UI equals to CI by NI. So here what is CI? CI is the number of defects. CI is the number of defects which will be specified in our question. So what is NI? NI is the sample size. NI is the sample size which is varying. So here we will not have any constant sample size. The sample size will be different for all the samples. So we will be plotting this UI values in our U chart, where UI equals to CI by NI. So what will be the control limits? So the 3 sigma control limits are, so what is the statistic we are considering here? Always the statistics for U chart is U. Whatever the chart we are considering, that will be the statistic for our chart. So 3 sigma control limits are expectation of U plus or minus 3 into standard error of U. So what is U here? C by N. So how we get expectation of U value? Expectation of U equals to expectation of C by N. So that is 1 by N into expectation of C. So what is expectation of C value? It is lambda. Why it is lambda? Since C follows Poisson with lambda. So we have discussed that always the number of defects follows a Poisson distribution and the parameter in the Poisson distribution is lambda. So this is the expectation of U value, and standard error of U equals to root over variance of U. So that is equals to root over variance of U is C by N. So therefore standard error of U equals to, here 1 by N is constant, so variance of it will be always 1 by N square, square root of 1 by N square into variance of C. So what is variance of C? It is also lambda. So standard error of U equals to, you can write it as 1 by N root lambda. So this is the required standard error formula. This you can write it as 1 by N into root lambda, or you can write standard error of U equals to square root of lambda by N square. So depends on your requirement. So what are the 3 sigma control limits now? UCL equals to expectation of U value is lambda by N plus 3 into first case. So what will be the second case? The second case is where the standards are not given. So since here we are considering the total variable, that is u, so here you will be getting not n square, n only. So that are the 3 sigma control limits. Here also n exists because even the ui follows the Poisson distribution with the lambda itself. Now these are the control limits for the first case. Now we will be seeing the control limits for case 2. So what is case 2? When standards are unknown. So you consider the same control limits. Instead of doing this procedure, you can also consider the same control limits for C chart. So in place of C, you write U, that will be your U chart control limits. So what were our U chart, C chart control limits? C bar plus or minus 3 into under root C bar. Now instead of C bar, we are going to write U bar. So if lambda is unknown, we will be estimating it by using the average of the ui values. When the standards are unknown, so the 3 sigma control limits, how we will find? We estimate it by using its average. By using the average of ui. So we will be using the average of ui. So what are the control limits, general control limits? The 3 sigma control limits are, you will be writing expectation of u plus or minus 3 into standard error of u. So what are the control limits? Expectation of u means it is a mean value u bar plus or minus 3 into standard error of u is variance of root over variance of u. So variance of u means here we are considering u bar. So generally if you observe here we have written c bar plus 3 into square root of c bar. So here also we will get 3 into square root of u bar divided by ni. So here if you observe lambda by n, right? So like that u bar by n. You will be getting that in place of lambda you will be substituting u bar, and since it is varying sample size case, that is ui values are there, so there you have written n, here you will be writing ni. So here also you have to specify ni only since it is a varying sample size case. So only in place of lambda you will be writing the u bar value. So what is the UCL value? UCL equals to u bar plus 3 under root u bar by ni, CL equals to u bar, and LCL equals to u bar minus 3 under root u bar by ni. So these are the required control limits for the case 2 under the U chart. So if you consider the U chart, these are the control limits, and what is u bar value? U bar equals to 1 by k summation of I equals to 1 to k ui. So what is the ui value? Ui equals to ci by ni, where ci is the number of defects and ni is the sample size. So similarly here also you will be taking the sample number on the x-axis and the number of defects for different samples on the y-axis and plot the different UCLs, different LCLs and different. Here CL will be same because only u bar value. So u bar is a constant value, that is summation ui by k. Only the UCL, in UCL and CL values only you have ni values. If you observe here and here you have LCL value, ni values. So for every sample you will get one UCL. If you have 10 samples, you will get 10 UCLs. So that UCLs will be plotted on chart with varying sample size, and the interpretation is also same. If all the points lie between the UCL and LCL, the process is said to be under statistical control. Suppose if the process, if any point goes above UCL or below LCL, the process is said to be not under control. So how you will be getting the chart for U chart? So if you observe, just a small, so here you will be writing the sample number, here you will be writing the number of defects, and you will be plotting the UCL, different UCL values. There will be some changes in the UCL, all will not be seen since the sample size is varying. You will get UCL, a curve kind thing, CL is constant, and you will be getting a LCL value, something like this. Join it with the dotted line, you will be getting the LCL value. So wherever you have LCL value negative, that will be regarded as 0 as usual. So then you will be plotting the only UI values. So if you plot UI values, you will be getting a graph for the UI values. This is called the UI line. Similarly, P chart means PI line, C chart means CI line. Similarly, like that, UI lines indicate C UI values. So interpretation is same. If all the points are below, between the UCL and LCL, then the process is under control. If any points goes above UCL or below LCL, the process is said to be not under control. So this is the construction of U chart. Now we will see a problem related to U chart. Now we will see a problem related to U chart. So read the question. Construct the number of defects chart to the following data. So number of defects always indicates a C chart. So C chart we have to construct, but observe here it is given blades in a batch and the number of defects. So a number of defects are given and blades in a batch, that is number of values are also given. Here they have they took a product that is blades. So blades in a batch, that means it indicates, the blades in a batch indicates the sample size and the number of defects are given, that is the CI values. So different sample sizes means you have to construct the U chart. It is a C chart with varying sample sizes, that is different sample sizes are given. So you have to construct the U chart here. Construct the U chart for the given data. For the given data. So write down the first, the control limits. What are the control limits? UCL equals to U bar plus 3 into under root U bar by Ni. CL equals to U bar and LCL equals to U bar minus 3 into under root U bar by Ni. So what is U bar here? U bar equals to 1 by K summation I equals to 1 to K Ui. What is UI? UI equals to Ci by Ni, where Ci is the number of defects. Ci is number of defects and Ni is the varying sample size. The sample sizes which are changing are denoted with Ni. So first we have to find the UI values, then U bar values, and substitute those in the required UCL, CLs and LCL. Since we will be getting different UCL, CLs and LCL, the boxes, the construction box is total how many values are given? 10. So total 10 values are given. So for the required 10 values, create a column. First you write the sample number. So that means the total number of samples. How many samples we have? 10 samples. Write down the 10 samples. 92, 83, 78, 75, 80, 120, 155, and the last one is 125. So next you have to write the number of defects. So number of defects always denotes the CI values. So write down the CI values. So what are the CI values? 40, 82, 90, 78, 70, 50, 65, 105, 93, and last one is 120. Next you have to find the, for control limits you want U bar values. So we have to plot UI values. So for that purpose find out the UI equals to CI by NI. So what is the first CI value? 40. So 40 divided by first NI value is, the first CI value is 40. So 40 divided by NI value is 85. So you will be getting the first UI value as 0.4706. So similarly next one, 82 divided by 88. Next value is 0.9318. Next 90 divided by 92. 0.9783. Next is 78 divided by 83. 0.9398. Similarly 70 divided by 78. 0.8974. Next 50 divided by 75. 0.6667. Next 65 divided by 80. 0.8125. Similarly 105 divided by 120, you will be getting as 0.8750. And last is 93 divided by 155. 93 divided by 155, 0.6. And the last one is 120 divided by 125, you will be getting as 0.96. So these are the UI values we got. So from that UI values, first find out the summation UI value. Add all the UI values given. If you add all the UI values, you will be getting the summation UI value as. So meanwhile you also add it, you will be getting the summation value as 8.133. So this is the UI value, summation UI value as 8.133. So from this UI value, you find out the U bar value, 1 by K. So here what is the K value? K equals to number of samples, that is 10 samples are given. So U bar equals to 1 by 10 into 8.133. So you will get the U bar value as 0.8133. So therefore U bar equals to 0.8133. So after getting the U bar value, next what we have to do? We have to find the UCL and CL values. So if you observe, always how we will find the UCL and LCL values? We will find out this term. Because for UCL and LCL, the common term is 3 into under root U bar by N. So find out that value, that is 3 into under root U bar by Ni. So 3 into under root U bar by Ni means 3 into square root of, open two brackets, one is for numerator and other is for denominator. What is the U bar value? 0.8133 divided by first Ni value. So corresponding to first sample, what is the Ni value? 85. So divided by 85 and close the required two brackets, you will be getting the first value as 0.2935. The first value is 0.2935. Now next what you will do? Just change the sample size. So instead of 85, you write down 88. The next value is 0.2884. 0.2970. Next 78, 0.3063. Next 75, 0.3124. Next is 80, 0.3025, and the next one is 120, 0.2470. Next is 155, 0.2173, and the last one is 125, 0.2420. So these are all the required values. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first column, right? So next column, calculate the UCL value. So what is the UCL value? U bar plus is this U bar plus 3 into under root U bar by Ni. That is U bar value plus fifth column, and LCL value is U bar minus 3 into under root U bar by Ni. That is U bar minus your fifth column values. Now if you observe, what is the U bar value? 0.8133 plus this value 0.2935. So you get the first UCL value as 1.1068. 1.1068. Similarly, you put minus, you will get the LCL value also as 0.5198. So second column value is U bar value as it is 0.8133 plus 0.2884. Answer is 1.1017. Put minus in place of plus, you will get LCL value as 0.5249. Similarly, the next value 0.2821. So plus 0.2821, we will be getting as 1.0954. Now put minus 0.5312. The next value is 0.2970 plus 0.2970. The answer is 1.1103. Similarly, put minus, you will get 0.5163. Next is plus 0.3063 plus 0.3063. 1.1196. Next minus in place of plus minus 0.5070. Next is similarly you find out the remaining values also for the remaining rows. Now we got all the required MCL, CL's values. If you are not able to see, I'll once read it out the values from here till here I have calculated. That is UCL value corresponding to sixth sample is 1.125, next 1.115, next 1.0603, next 1.030, 1.055. Next LCL values corresponding to sixth sample is 0.501, 0.511, 0.506, 0.596 and 0.571. Now you have to plot the required UCLs, whatever the values of UCLs, LCLs and CL value you got in the control chart. And you have to plot all the UI values also. So construct the U chart. If you construct the U chart, so if you see the U chart, how many samples we have? Total 10 samples. So on the x-axis you represent the number of samples, that is sample number, observe in UI, the larger value is 0.97. So you want values up to 0.97 here, and if you observe UCLs, the largest value is 1.12. So you want the values up to the 1.12 or 1.14. So here I am taking the scale as 0.2 only. So I will take the scale as 0.1 only. Here 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So we want up to the values 1.12 only, right? Yes, we want values up to 0.12 only. So 0.1 up to 0.1, the scale is enough. Now plot the different UCL values. So here the sample numbers means here I will be plotting the number of defects such as UI's values. So first plot all the UCL values. What is the UCL first value? 1.10. 1.10. Next one is also 1.10 only. So for third value it is 1.09. So it is a little bit low to this. Similarly, next one is 1.11. Next, for fifth sample also same. Sixth sample also same. Seventh sample 1.12. So just a bit above to this. Next, eighth sample is seventh sample also 1.11 only. Yes, eighth sample is 1.06. In between 1.1 and 1.0. Ninth sample 1.0. Next is last one is 1.0 itself. So now join all these values with a dotted line. You will get the required UCL value. So this is the UCL value. Next CL is U bar. What is the U bar value? 0.81. So here you will get the CL value. Next plot the LCL values. 0.51. Next is 0.52. Next is 0.53. Next 0.51. Next 0.50. Next 0.50 again. Next 0.51. 0.50 again. 0.59, that is near to 6. Last one is 0.57. Join these lines. This is the required LCL value we got for our given problem. So after plotting the UCLs, CL and LCLs, next you have to plot the UI values. So be careful by plotting UI values. First sample 0.47. Second Next is 0.66. Next is 0.81. And the next one is 0.87. Next value is 0.6, ninth value is 0.6, and the last value is 0.96. So this is the required UI line. So if you observe, it is very clear that this UI line is between our UCL and CL line. So therefore, the process is said to be under statistical control. So what is the inference you are going to give? Since all the UI values, that is the UI line, falls in between the UCL and CL line, therefore the process is said to be under statistical